my goodness. And there it is. Wow, get the spin to go. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the National Bowling Stadium for continuing coverage of the PWBA Tour Championship for the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. My name is Emil Williams Jr. And fresh off a well-earned break, Aaron Smith has joined us for round number 2 today. Aaron, obviously, I hope all is well. You look refreshed and good, and I certainly hope you're feeling well because 8 games this morning is any indication of what we are in for this afternoon, then it should be very fun. I don't think we'll see what we saw earlier, and that means that Stephanie Zavala was not a typo. If you're looking at the standings earlier today, she did unfortunately shoot 96, but rebounded very well. 96 in the opening game, but rebounded extremely well. In fact, rebounded so far to get to plus 159 for 16th place, which is still a very good spot considering how many games we have left. Diana Zavjalova, who has been very good and very consistent throughout the majors. We talked about that this week. She is your round 1 leader, followed by Liz Johnson, Missy Parkin, who made the show last night at the Pepsi Classic. As Shannon Sellens, of course, we always talk about her. Non-member. Every time she's out, though, she's a contender, and she certainly is here for the Tour Championship. And Stephanie Johnson, who has had a very great week so far, she is in 5th place. I know you didn't obviously watch a lot of bowling this morning, Aaron, but you looked at some scores. You looked at some standing sheets. Where are you? What are you expecting to see just based on some of the scores and the standings that you have seen and taken a look at so far?
You missed a great opportunity to pull out the "Where are you, Aaron?"
You're right
there. So, I think my big takeaway is obviously Diana bowling well once again, and this is the type of event she just performed so well at. And if you look back at her record at the Hall of Fame Classic, at the Kickoff Classic Series in January, and then the Bowl TV Classic, great tournament name, by the way, at the Summer Classic Series, this format, this thing that's going on right here, she was so close to making both of those shows. She bowled incredibly well, so I'm not surprised to see her in that position once again. But the big thing for me, the big takeaway is looking at kind of the big picture of Player of the Year and everything going on with that. And our top 3 players are in the bottom 4 spots. So for Verity Crawley, Dasha Kovalova, and Julia Bond, how do they respond after a not so great opening round?
Yeah, it's a very interesting situation that has developed. We thought last night was wild, of course, with Julia winning and then making that difference of 355 points amongst the top 3 players. Now, as Aaron mentioned, they are at the bottom of the leaderboard at the moment. And then there's some situations where, someone like Missy Parkin could make a very big run here throughout this event. And if she makes the show and potentially wins, then maybe she could win it. So there's all types of intrigue. That Player of the Year race, I mean, basically at this point, every game it changes, literally every game. And we'll run down those points again. They are updated for us through this round, so we're looking forward to that. We'll take you out on the lanes. We'll start you with the leader, of course, Diana Zavjalova, taking on good friend Verity Crawley, and Kelly Kulick and Maria Jose Rodriguez.
will say, Emil, taking a look at across the scoreboards here at the National Bowling Stadium, much better start for Stephanie Zavala. 3 for 3 in her matchup against Liz Cole.
She rebounded very well in game 2 this morning. She had the front 8 after shooting 96. So we certainly expected her to rebound. But there was obviously that intrigue of, okay, where is she? Is she going to be able to rebound? Obviously, was it just that, was that pair kind of weird? The JT really kind of laid out what this pattern has presented. A very different ratio than the players are used to seeing. So they've had to do some different things from a strategy, perhaps mindset situation. But overall, it's not a difficult, or certainly at the extreme levels of difficulty overall from a pattern perspective.
And just taking a look from our location here behind lanes 45, 46, 47, 48. I see Sandra Gongora starting with urethane, and I know she had a strong opening block. Was sitting in, I believe, the top 10 when it was all said and done. And I think she gave away a few spots at the end, but started off with 3 in a row before a spare opportunity in the 4th. So I'm not sure how much of that was going down the lane in the first round, but
as a whole, I'm not sure. But Sandra did use urethane. She threw a purple hammer up the boards outside. So that was certainly something I was looking forward to seeing if she would continue that. I don't see why she wouldn't. She got off to a great start. She was in the lead for the first couple of games. Was in second for a while also. Oh, nicely done. Zavyalova out and about, making 4.9s already. So for a while it was Gongora, then it was Zavyalova, and then those individuals stayed 1-2 for a few games, and then we started to have a little mix-up between spots 2, 3, 4, 5. Shannon Sellens was second at one point. I think Liz Johnson was second before settling back into second at the end of it. And then obviously, as you mentioned, Sandra Gongora dropped a few spots, tailing off at the end with that 185, 192. But she can get off to the great start. You talked to DZ at the end of today's block, and she talked about kind of referring to her notes, maybe on what she missed, what she could have done differently at the end of a block, and obviously on specific pairs. That was a good question from JT regarding how she can maybe eliminate some of the things that inhibited her to continue the torrid pace she was on at the end of a block. So, we did notice that players were able to get left or move further left as the block continued on. So we'll see how it all shapes out here. I would like to know, maybe I'll take a peek where Stephanie Zavala elected to play during this opening game. She was further right in game 1, but a lot of players were. And the contrast at the time was we had Stephanie Johnson on the pair to the left. And Steph was left or further left than Stephanie Zavala was, which you don't see all that often. So I couldn't really tell. Okay, was it where Stephanie was playing? On the obviously just Steph to say, all right, Steph, I'm just going to play here because this is where I think I have the best look at the moment. Game 1 was a little tricky for some, and not for others. From 40 feet, 26.05 mils.
Combo of Kegel current and terrain.
In a lot of I'm the best situations. I don't know what I did to earn such praise, but I appreciate it.
Well, it's true.
The only thing I did differently today was open up the show.
Should have been holding us down this whole time.
Good afternoon, though, to everybody. And Cass, Paula, William, Tone Loke, Cedric, Sid Rowe. Okay, so KTY, that's got to be Katie, right? I think. Is that
yeah,
fair?
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a safe assumption.
All right. Rick, Paula, Ken, Gloria. I feel that we asked Evan, or at least what we assumed, Evan. We wanted to get a correct pronunciation. I don't remember the answer, but I feel like we asked that question.
I believe we did.
So, Evan, if you could just let us know
we might
that
need
again
an assist once again.
on the correct pronunciation of your first name, because we want to make sure we are pronouncing it correctly. What's up to Sebi? James is in. John, yes, every block is on the fresh. We got to give our guy Bill Walter something to do here. Bill representing Kegel. Judy is here. Kendall is here. Larry Bird. Larry, you should just walk around with your index finger pointed in the air.
From way downtown.
From way downtown, indeed.
For folks who have asked me about Indiana, since I'm from Indiana, and not a lot of cool things happen in Indiana for the most part. So I've tried to pass off that Larry Bird and Mike Albee are on the currency there. Nobody ever believes me. Mike Albee, Larry Bird. Shannon O'Keefe off to a real nice start over on 69 and 70 against Julia Bond, in position to capture that matchup. Saki Mukutani also putting together a big game in a fiercely contested match against Dasha Kovalova right now. Kovalova can still get to 257 this game, and that might not be enough. Misaki, 269 max score. Brianna Cote, 279 max in her matchup against Liz Johnson. Once again, in addition to having every pair in play available to watch, we do have live scoring as well. I do feel, I saw a comment in the chat asking about Verity if she was throwing urethane, and that does look very urethane-esque going down the lane. So Maria with the double. It's going to build a little bit of a lead here in a rematch of the 2014 Queens title tilt, also held here at the NBS. Kelly responds nicely, though. 7th frame. As we get toward the back half of game number 1, just a reminder, and Emil already rocked out some hellos to the crowd on Bowl TV, but a big hello to the good folks watching on Facebook and YouTube as well, on the Sport of Bowling USBC page, the PWBA Tour page on Facebook, and the Bowl TV YouTube channel as well. As a programming note, we will be signing off after game 1 on those platforms, so bowltv.com, the place to be to watch the rest of the block today, and of course the final round of match play tomorrow to determine the top 5 leading into the stepladder finals taking place on Sunday, Halloween. 5 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Network, for the final major of the year, the season-ending event, potentially the event we probably will not have Player of the Year determined at that point either. It could happen on the show. And of course, on top of it all, just hanging out there on the side, no biggie. $50,000 top prize. Dave Ryan and potentially Kelly Kulick on the call. Kelly wants to be bowling for $50,000, but if she does not make the top 5, she will stick around and join us for the show. So bowltv.com, the place to be to pick up that subscription. Not only do we have the great Bowl TV community, we have giveaways as well, Emil. What was the giveaway last round?
We gave away a Brunswick Quantum Evo.
Oh, how about that? That's kind of cool. Should we do that again?
No.
Oh.
But just because we have a different bowling ball.
Oh, look at that. So that's right, folks. From our Gold Industry partners, Neil mentioned the Brunswick Quantum Evo given out last round. In the next 2 rounds here on Bowl TV, we'll have a Rotogrip bowling ball of choice and a Storm bowling ball of choice. I don't know if that's going to be the order or not. We'll have to think about that. We'll have to have a conversation. But we will be giving those out 1 per round coming up here toward probably the end of the block. So bowltv.com. Not only can you watch the best athletes on the PWBA Tour, get to experience hundreds and thousands of hours of content, but be a part of a great community, but you can win as well. So a lot to love about being part of the Bowl TV community, but do have to pick up that subscription to continue after this. $8.95 for the event ticket to watch the rest of today and tomorrow as well. $9.95, $1 more, gets you a monthly recurring subscription, which does give you access to the entire site. So not only the live event coverage, but the archived events. So if you missed any of the PWBA Tour season so far this year, you can check it out there. Trouble for Verity there in 10th, 4-7-10. And of course, all the on-demand content as well. And then $79.95 for an annual recurring subscription, the best way to support the PWBA Tour. Transaction fees do apply for all 3, so bowltv.com, the place to be. Pick up your subscription. Sit back and enjoy and watch the best in the world.
I can confirm, Aaron, the facts regarding which brand of bowling ball will be given away this round. I saw the list. And it is Rotogrip for round 2.
Rotogrip for round 2.
Now, of course, you can change it and do whatever you want.
That's true. I'm a rebel.
Yes, rebel without a cost.
I just like to mix things up, that's all. All right. Oh, okay.
How about that?
We got some big score updates coming in here as we get ready for this final frame. 216 for Crawley to finish up. So Zavyalova will have the opportunity to mark now in the 10th to sneak away a victory from her very, very, very good friend. And look to continue her spot at the top of the leaderboard. But some other scores rolling in Brianna Cote, 258 to 200 victory over Liz Johnson. Dasha Kovalova, 255 to 225, winner over Misaki Mukutani. Shalin Zulkifli with 204 will get a win over Jen Higgins. Liz Culkin, 237 in a victory over Stephanie Zavala. Pretty close match between Birgit and Stephanie Johnson coming down to the 10th frame. Stephanie will have the opportunity to win that one, but Birgit is going to force her to double. Missy Parkin, 197 to 191 over Lucy Boomershine. Shannon Sellens is going to get a win with 206 over Ashley Galante. Shannon O'Keefe's going to be in the 230s in a victory over Julia Bond. Daria Payuk, 231 to 185 over Shannon Pluhowski. And then Sandra Gongora is on her way to a victory over Valerie Bercier. TZ got mark number 1. She added the second for good measure. She's going to get into the 230s and record a victory here in game 1. Maria is on her way to a win as well against Kelly. Best Kelly can get to is 173. 226 still out there for Maria. Good question in the Bull TV chat from Highwayman. Can Daily subscribers win the drawing too? Yes. If you're watching on bulltv.com and you see the prompt when it comes up, and you should be good to go. So once again, that's a little bit later in the block, but yes. Event ticket, monthly, annual, it's all good. As long as you're watching Bull TV, you'll have the opportunity to participate.
We can't see it, but if you've been watching the Gongora Bercier match, Valerie Bercier left some similar leaves that Stephanie Zavala left on the fresh. The difference was she left enough makeable spares in comparison to Stephanie. Stephanie was just a couple washouts to start, and then I think it was like 6 splits. But 4 through the middle, face splits, different varying items like that. It's easy to do on the fresh. It's been a lot of pocket 710s today, too.
Well, that's not good at all. We saw one too many of those yesterday.
Indeed.
Maria unable to convert, but stand enough for the bonus pin, so 194 to 173 to take the win against Kelly Kulick. And folks, that will conclude game 1. So here on BullTV.com, we're going to take a quick break as we get ready for game 2. Once again, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, this will be the end of our streaming to those platforms, but head on over to BullTV.com, pick up a subscription to check out the action for the rest of the day here from the National Bowling Stadium. So, folks, we'll be right back here on Bull TV. Continue coverage of the PWBA Tour Championship from Reno coming up next.
It's a good question there, Herbert. We'll have to we'll pull up the list of POY points. And Aaron, who is a much better mathematician than I am.
I feel that's a very tough question to answer because there's so many moving parts.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you start by placing the players ahead of her in the 24 through 21 position, you're going to eventually get to a point where you just start placing her in spots ahead of it. Eventually she'll get ahead of all of them, but obviously there's enough going on around her with Liz Johnson, Missy Parkin currently in the top 5 that will also throw a wrench in that. So that, and you don't expect Liz or Missy to make that type of a fall, if you will. I would say though, Shannon makes it show she's going to have a chance.
Well,
so I think that's
the answer.
I think that's kind of the easiest way to process it at the moment. I mean, we literally could run down the math and have that scenario, but it's just there's too many moving factors with. It became a little clearer with a few of those players struggling in the first round to see. And we do have that information available. So if the tournament ended after round number 1, Liz Johnson would actually be player of the year. So somewhere Hosan is going nuts. Our guy Hosan is going crazy. So once again, this is just based off of where they were placed at with the Tour Championship points, which are worth more at the current moment, after round number 1. So based off of where you finished after 8 games. So obviously that's changing from game to game. Liz Johnson was in first, 128,060. Missy Parkin was in second, 126,763. It's a weird number because she had a tie this season, so she split points. And then Shannon, based off of her current spot, 10th place, entering this round, she was considered in 3rd place, 126,070. So she was, already ahead of Verdi, Julia, and Dasha at the moment. So, so when you kind of look at it that way, and that's the Verdi, Julia, Dasha is the next 3 spots down, and then Brianna in 7th place. So those are the 7 players in contention now. But currently, 128,060 is where Liz is at leading. Cote is in 7th at 122,945. So essentially 5,000 points separating 1st to 7th at the moment. But there's a lot of ground that Verdi, Julia, and Dasha can make up, which can quickly switch things around. Entering the Tour Championship, however, Shannon was 4th. And she was only less than 3,000 back from Verdi crawling. So if Verdi, Dasha and Julia were so close entering. I mean, there's only 355 points separating those 3 players too. There's just so many moving parts to it. But based off of the responses, I think, from Julia, Verdi, and Dasha in this round, I think that will be pretty telling to where we might be at heading into the show. We saw Dasha have the nice comeback to start 255 out of the gates in the victory. So that's going to jump her up a couple spots in the standings. But I'm really interested to see the response from those players to to see if they can start chipping away at that deficit. Herbert, that's a great question. Is available. Page 15 of the PWBA rule book. I'll drop the link in the chat for you as well. And do keep in mind that there are different points based off events. So at this point, the only point chart that's relevant is the one for the Tour Championship. So as a major, that's going to be a little bit different than the standard event. There's going to be more points available at the top. But the PWBA rules will certainly help you with kind of seeing that structure that's going around for points as well. Real quick rundown just to make the show: 25,000 points for first, 18,000 for second. So with essentially first to seventh being 8,000 points apart, that it certainly could come down to a title match situation. If two of those players happen to make it into the title match. So 25 for first, 18,000 for second, 16,500 for third, 15,000 for fourth, 13,500 for fifth, and then there's a 2,000 point difference of 11,500 going to sixth place, and then the differences get a little bit closer. It's essentially 300 point difference per spot. The rest of the way out. So essentially from 1,500 for 11,500 for sixth to 11,200 for seventh, and then the rest of the way down just keeps subtracting 300 points. So you're not gaining a ton of points in that aspect. So that's where the points are going to be made at this event, is where the big jumps at least are from making the step ladder. We do have an update of scores available after game number one. And Diana Zavyalova continues to sit at the top of the standings, plus 488, a 7-2 match play record so far. On the strength of a 258 game, Brianna Cote now sits in second at plus 439. Missy Parkin plus 408 in third. Shannon Sellens plus 402 in fourth. And Stephanie Johnson currently holds the fifth spot, plus 396, 4 pins ahead of Liz Johnson, first player out at the moment, at plus 392. Sandra Gongora plus 362. Shannon O'Keefe plus 353 in eighth. Shannon Pluhowski plus 330. Daria Payuk in 10th plus 327. Birgit Norex plus 309. Liz Culkin plus 250. Maria Jose Rodriguez plus 224. Saki Mukutani in 14th place plus 167. Shalin Zolkifli plus 152. Valerie Bercier plus 150. Stephanie Zavala plus 148. Ashley Galante plus 147. Dasha Kovalova plus 140. So, Dasha's already moved up from 23rd to 19th based off of that 255 game. So that's how many spots she can make up. And, looking at the points once again, from 23rd to 19th. She gains an extra 1,200 points right there, which gets her ahead of 2 players, essentially, if they held their spots. So, once again, that's how quickly, that's if there's any silver lining to be a little bit farther back when it looks at the points, is that you have more opportunities to gain points back with a strong performance. So Dasha now 19th, plus 140. Kelly Kulik at plus 116 in 20th. Jen Higgins plus 109. Verity Crawley plus 95. Julia Bond plus 50. Lindsay Boomershine plus 42. All right, we've been talking a lot about points. Let's talk about what's going on the lanes. Back to our feature matches in just a second, but big scores across the house. Daria Payuk starting with the front 7 before an 8 spare in the 8th. Julia Bond putting together a nice game. Tightly contested matchup against Missy Parkin. Stephanie Johnson can still shoot 280 against Misaki Mukutani. And Verity Crawley still rolling, can shoot 279 this game with the 9th and 10th frame left to go. So Valerie, a nice bounce back game. Some struggles in game 1 in the 150s. Can still shoot 258 this game. But Kote has been on a roll since that split in frame number 3. Looking to make it 6 in a row here. Gonna find some hold. Yes. Her max 253. So essentially, Bercier leading on count. We'll just have to match what Cote does here in the 10th to secure the victory. Chance for a, looking at max scores, a tie ball game here between Liz Johnson and Sandra Kangora. Both can max out at 239. Oh, goodness. The late trip of the 7. We haven't seen too many 7 pins kind of scoot off the deck like that. Those have usually resulted in single pin spare opportunities. How about that? A pair of 5 pins to look at. Don't see those too often out here, but Bree's going to be in the 240s now. So Valerie will need to get the first hit. Valerie needs the strike, and oh, roll 2 pin. What? We have not gotten our fill of roll 2s, and Valerie cashes one in. That is going to get her the victory with decent count here. Oh, Emil, no. Oh, goodness. Gongora with the stuff 8th, second shot of the 10th. Going to drop her max down to 209 now with the spare, which means Liz Johnson now will just need a mark. To get the 30 bonus pins. Could have been a little bit closer there if she was able to get the double. A little more pressure on Liz. She would have needed the first one if she would have struck out. Valerie's going to try a different look here. With the match locked up. That will secure the victory for the legend. Liz Johnson. 257 victory. Valerie Bercier to 242 over Brianna Cote. Verdi Crawley, 258 in a win over Maria Jose Rodriguez. Kelly Kulik's going to get a victory against our tournament leader, Diana Zavialova. Shalyn Zulkifli going to pick up a win against Stephanie Zavala. Stephanie Johnson's going to be in the 240s in a win over Misaki Mukutani. Jen Higgins with the dub against Liz Culkin. Birgit, a 217 to 213 victory over Dasha. Daria Paiuk, 267 with the front seven that game in a win over Ashley Galante. Missy Parkin, a 243 to 239 victory over Julia Bond. Maybe a little redemption from last night's semifinal. Shannon O'Keefe, 224 to 191 over Lindsay Boomershine. And then Shannon Sellens with 242 to Shampoo Houski's 225. I believe that wraps up all the matches here in Game 2. It's an awkward moment where nothing is happening. There's no bowling going on. Oh, there's bowling. Okay. I've heard bowling again. All is right in the world. All right, folks. Game 3 coming up next here on Bowl TV. We'll be right back with you from the Tour Championship, the final event of the amazing 2021 PWBA Tour season. So much left to be determined for not only this event, but the Player of the Year race as well. So we'll be right back here on Bowl TV. Everybody hang tight. Game 3 coming up next. All right, folks. Standings are updated after 2 games. Over on PWBA.com, Diana Zavyalova continues to lead, but the margin has gotten a little smaller with 2 players right. Actually, oh, okay. There are currently 5 players within 35 pins of Diana Zavyalova. So this top 5 is prime for a lot of back and forth, it appears. So Zavyalova continues to lead, plus 496. She's 15 pins ahead of Brianna Cote and Missy Parkin, who are tied at plus 481. Shannon Sellens is at plus 474. Stephanie Johnson currently holds the 5th spot at plus 471, 10 pins ahead of Liz Johnson at plus 461. Daria Payuk jumps into 7th place after that 267. She's got 498 for her first 2 games this block. So Cote making the turn at 500 with a loss in there too. Daria Payuk 498 for her first 2, making the big jump up to plus 424 in 7th place. Shannon O'Keefe plus 407, Sandra Gongora plus 371. Birgit Norikes in 10th place plus 356, Shannon Bluhowski plus 355. Then we have a bit of a jump from 11th to 12th, right around 100 pins. Liz Culkin in 12th plus 251, so 104 pin difference there. Valerie Bercier and Maria Jose Rodriguez tied for 13th at plus 237. Shalene Zolkifli plus 204. Saki Mukutani plus 190. Verdi Crawley. Just some folks are talking about her with that 258. She jumps all the way up to 17th place at plus 183. Kelly Kulik at plus 174. Jen Higgins plus 166. Dasha plus 153. Stephanie Zavala plus 140. Ashley Galante plus 131. Julia Bond plus 89. And then Lindsay Boomershine plus 33. The scores for your top 24 at the moment. Uh-oh. Shannon O'Keefe. We're on high alert. Shannon O'Keefe, front 8. 63 and 64 against Shannon Sellens. Oh, let's go. We're going right there. We're doing this thing. Because I believe Shannon's going to step up for her 9th. Oh, she's up to 9 already. Is that right? Oh, let's go. We're moving. What'd I say? 63 and 64? I'm talking, trying to get there. Bear with me, people. My first day. It's my first day. All righty. Oh. Well, this is interesting. Emil Williams Jr., what you got?
I was informed that there was a scoring error. And so we were ahead of the game based on what we saw, obviously. And the removal of strikes. And, of course,
all the emotions that I've just felt. All the excitement.
Nonetheless, though, it doesn't take away from the game she's building.
This is true. But still.
Yes, you are correct.
But still. I was ready. I needed that energy here. Well, the weird part was when we switched over, I saw her like going through her pre-shot routine, but obviously the arrows suggested it was Shannon Sellen's turn. Yep, because she was doing this part of her pre-shot routine, and I was curious why she was just kind of waiting there already. It's like Shannon still has 2 frames to go before it's Shannon's turn. There's a lot of Shannons in here, so we got 3 Shannons in the top 24.
I think what's terrible about that situation is we still somehow black clouded a front 9 that didn't exist.
It's really a new high and low at the same time.
I mean, what else can we do?
We clouded a fake front 9. This is a disturbing situation.
Maybe it was the scoreboard decided to mask itself because of Halloween
Oh, look at this guy.
as a front 9.
Guy's got dad jokes now.
Yeah.
Look at this man. Look at this guy, EWJ.
I guess we should all just be black clouds for Halloween. You got time to put that together tonight?
I mean, Reno's a happen place. Maybe we could find one of the clubs that has all the foam. You know the foam clubs? Heard about those? It's for the kids nowadays.
Okay.
They like to have fun and like hop around in bubbles and stuff. But we get some of the bubbles and we walk around. It looks like clouds, like partying in clouds. Potentially we could get enough storm patches as well. It looked like, because I got the lightning bolt, could wear a couple of those. That's really threw me off. I don't know what to think now. I can't trust anything I see.
Everything's false.
This is the Matrix.
Well, there's a Matrix 4 and 5 coming.
All right, now that we've come back to reality. Birgit was on a different planet though this past game, 277. In a victory over Jen Higgins. So Birgit, I believe, has been hanging around the top 10.
Yep.
So she's within that first grouping before kind of the big dip to you get to plus or more than 200 out of the cut. So she's right in that mix. So that's going to be a big game for her to potentially jump up a couple spots. Daria Payuk. Uh-oh. Just dropped 757 for her first 3. Another victory. This time over Missy Parker. Missy's going to bowl a good game. She's going to be in the 220s. Not going to be enough, though. O'Keefe is going to get the victory over Shannon Sellens. It's a big opportunity here for Stephanie Zavala to kind of get things kick-started here in round 2. She's going to need one more hit to get into the 220s and surpass Misaki Mukutani, who is already at 220 in the books. Gonna get it. Just needs 6 now to collect the victory. Going through the Bull TV comments after our fake front nine. Larry L, though. I enjoy Larry L's energy here. Are you guys in the booth available for hire? I can use your Black Cloud talents in my league. LOL. We see you, Larry. You want to take home some extra bracket money? I can feel that. To make a few extra corner pins happen. So 225 to 220. Mukutani, or excuse me, Zavala over Mukutani for Shannon O'Keefe. 257. I have to imagine that everybody is keeping an eye on O'Keefe for many reasons here at the Tour Championship. Obviously, in the contention for a third consecutive Player of the Year award, but I think the way that she's missed the first two cuts here and as how close they've been, that I just don't expect Shannon to let the season end that way. If there's anybody who can will pins over, I feel it's Shannon, and just her dedication to her craft, the time, the effort she puts in, the mental focus. I just feel she's going to have the opportunity to defend her Tour Championship title. I feel when we get to game 24, position round, if we start here at 47-48, she will be on one of these two pairs. Still a long way to go, but I just feel she's making the show.
It's not a bad gut feeling to have.
I feel the moment's not, the thought of all these implications. Obviously, the past 2 years she's won, she's locked it up before getting to the Tour Championship, but I just don't think the moment's going to slow her down. I don't think the thought of, everything with TV and the big prize check is going to affect the process, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what she can do. But I mean, that's not a very bold prediction at all because she's Shannon O'Keefe and she's one of the best players in the world. But I just see it's going to happen.
That is not a bad gut feeling, Aaron. Would not be surprised if that certainly worked out. Wouldn't be surprised if that happened and she ends up winning Player of the Year. Like, none of that would surprise me. I think the way it would happen, right? Meaning, when you look at the full year, JT and I talked about this a little bit earlier, where it's just been it would be a completely different way than the last few seasons of getting to those two milestones, if you will. Which, you would almost expect that, right? You don't expect her to just go out and win 5 titles. It's just so hard to do the first time.
Mm-hmm.
If you repeat that, then let's just go ahead and crown it right now. In that sense, but you wouldn't be shocked. Speaking of, we'll have her on at some point today. We talked about we hadn't had her on for a minute. I do want to know how she's feeling physically, since she's been working on the IT band for a minute. So how she's feeling physically, and I think her performance so far is going to warrant us to talk with her nonetheless. Like where your head's at, Aaron. Sandra Gongora, by the way, threw 3 shots that were as clutch as you can make in the 10th frame to force Zavialova to throw a double in the 10th to win And now, potentially, could be a tie as well.
It's over on 49-50 right now.
Someone mentioned about Misaki Mukatani. Yes, he continues to bowl some very good games here to start this round, but has come up empty in the win column. Asha Kovalova with a big win. She needs some wins.
Who do you feel like watching this game, Emil?
You know,
we currently got Zavala against Johnson and Cote versus Crawley, so some primetime matchups right there. But
so this morning I had the idea of still doing the viewer's choice. Probably ran into is, we can't fit 12 matches on them. And the poll settings, Eric Nix had a good idea from the chat and said, well, just choose the top 6 in the standings and who they're bowling, and then put those in the poll. I said, oh, that's a good idea. The problem was, we were waiting for the standings in that particular game, and they came in a little late. And so by the time they came in, what we were watching was already in the 5th, 6th frame, and it just didn't seem like it was solid at that point in time. But I was really hoping to do it twice since we have 8 games. Yeah, today could have been 4 and 8, or we could normally do a 3 and 6 like we have been. Speaking of games, what game is this?
This is game 4.
Okay. So if we get the standings updated in a relatively timely manner here, I'll throw in the 6 matches of the top 6 on the in the standings.
Okay.
And let the viewers see what's popping from that regard.
Daria Payuk now at plus 513. Just taking a quick look around some of the pairs near us here. And Diana Zavialova got to 2-0 in a tie. So she's going to be plus 514. My math served me right. We're watching Brianna Cote right now. She's under plus 500. There's a chance that Daria just went from 7th to 1st. And if that is the case, I would vote to see that matchup. She's taking on Julia Bond. We'd also get to see Shannon O'Keefe versus Shampohowski. It's on the 53 through 56 station. Emil, I came to a potential moment while you were away. As we wait to see this next score update.
Mm-hmm.
I think Daria just jumped from 7th to 1st.
Oh. Well, that's nice. How about that?
Or potentially one pin behind, now that I start thinking about it. She might be one pin behind DC.
She shot 7 what for the first 3, by the way?
7:57, I believe.
Well, JT and I were talking about, I asked JT what his favorite or most memorable match play performance. Of course, he's seen a lot of bowling at the highest levels, both men's and women's tours. And he mentioned like Robert Smith and Daria 2017 U.S. Women's Open, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got to, briefly reminiscing on that, how she just continued to strike so much.
Okay, so they didn't have the 30 added Cote yet.
Mm.
There we go. Okay. Regardless, it's 3 pins between 1st and 3rd right now. Holy cow, this is oh my, what? Look at this.
Well, read it, fam.
Whose tournament is this? My, what? Holy cow. Holy cow. There's currently only 74 pins between 1st and 10th place.
That's incredible.
Brianna Cote, plus 516. We're watching her right now take on Verdi Crawley in 1st. Diana Zavielova, plus 514 in 2nd. Daria Payuk, 757, 3-0, plus 513. Stephanie Johnson, plus 506. Missy Parkin, plus 505. So plus 505 is your current number. Shannon O'Keefe on the strength of the 257 game and the victory, now plus at plus 494. 11 pins out. Shannon Sellens at plus 480. Liz Johnson at plus 470. Birgit Norreichs, 277 last game. She's now at plus 463. And then Shannon Blahowski, plus 442 in 10th place.
Wow.
So right now for the show, there's currently only 11 points or pins or plus. This has baffled me. 11 pins between 1st and 5th. And 74 between 1st and 10th. After that, it drops down to plus 389, Sandra Gongora. Then plus 258 in 12th place, Valerie Bercier, plus 257, Liz Culkin. Verdi Crawley continuing to gain a couple spots here, plus 252 now in 14th place. Kelly Kulik, plus 248. Maria Jose Rodriguez, plus 241. Dasha Kovalova up to 17th, plus 220. Saki Mukitani, plus 210. Ashley Galante, plus 199. Stephanie Zavala, plus 195. Jen Higgins, plus 187. Shalane Solkeefly, plus 181. Julia Bond, plus 106. And Lindsay Boomershine, plus 10.
And there you have it.
If someone came up and told me we'd have 11 pins between the top 5, at any point outside of like game 1, I would say that's That's wacky. But here we are. Here we are. So to address a couple comments in the chat about the finals that will be exclusive to CBS Sports Network. So for folks who are hoping to watch it on Bull TV, we do apologize for that, but obviously it's pretty awesome for the players out here, the athletes, and the exposure for the PWBA tour to have that limelight on CBS Sports Network and that $50,000 top prize. I will say though, if because I too am someone who at the moment doesn't have CBS Sports Network. So I found there's a couple places though. There's a couple joints that are pretty universal across most places where if you get there early, you request a TV or something like that. You know, a place like Buffalo Wild Wings, or kind of a sports place that watch NFL games at, something like that. Usually, most of those places do carry CBS Sports Network, so that's always a good option as well. And then for the what's the second question? I know what it was about, but Brian asked about the renewal and the multiple charge situation that popped up last night right before the start of the show, and yeah, that was an error on our part. So we had a little malfunction with that. So I believe all refunds have been processed, but if they have not been, please let us know. We'll work with our team to make sure that takes place. You can also fill out the contact us form available at bowl.com/bowltv, or if you want to go above the chat, the fourth option to the right, the little letter looking icon is actually the contact us form that we would request you to fill out. So hopefully that helps.
I know we mentioned this a little bit at the U.S. Women's Open also, but there's some opportunity to potentially, I'm not sure what other items you good people are already using to stream your favorite shows and whatnot, or maybe you get your live TV from certain streaming destinations these days. But the free trial option certainly would be one to take a look at. Fubo TV, YouTube TV, I think Hulu. They also have CBS Sports Network. I know it's no Bowl TV, but hear me out. So this next game, Aaron, so here's what I'm thinking for the next couple games.
Okay, I'm ready.
we just might have to do the viewer's choice a little different today. And but based on these findings and these new standings, right? So we know at some point we'll just need to take a look again at Daria, right?
Daria, I don't think we've caught her this round yet.
Shannon O'Keefe again at some point if we can. Shannon Pluhowski potentially as well. She's moving on up. Brianna Cote was still, she's leading currently, right?
Currently leading, and she's actually, well, we got her right now,
Sure.
thinking 279. So, and in position for a victory as well, as Verity is just has the one double now, a third strike. So, Cote currently in position to maintain the top spot.
Someone earlier asked about equipment choices for Birgit and Shannon O'Keefe. I believe at the time she was throwing a Zenith Pearl, and it's like she's switching to the melee jab or has switched. Shannon was throwing the Quantum Pearl Evo and is now into a web, courtesy of Curtis Von Kruger.
KVK. Well, that's some good stuff there, Emil. However, I think the just the overall stock of 14-pound bowling equipment is going to go up with the way Brianna Cote has been tossing the rock here this week. They say, you know what, you don't strike as much with 14, and Bree's like, that's malarkey. She averaged more than 230 across two patterns for 24 games. She has taken the lead here at the Tour Championship, and she's a couple strikes away from being in the 270s here in Game 4. Some upcoming reports of scores coming in. Shannon Pluhowski, 237 will be enough for a victory over Shannon O'Keefe. Best O'Keefe can get to is 227. Daria Payuk is just about to wrap up a victory over Julia Bond. She did slow down with the split in the ninth, can still get to 234. Bond in the books at 205. Shannon Sellens looks to be on her way to victory here shortly against Lindsay Boomershine. Dasha Kovalova is going to be in the 220s and collect a win against Jen Higgins. Emil, tell me about the scoring pace from round one. Like I look at the scores, I look at the averages. Like obviously we had nearly 10 people average 220, so there was some striking going on. I'm trying to kind of get the feel of what we're seeing here for what was going on in round one while I was taking the day off.
I think there were a lot of peaks and valleys, meaning there were some high scores in segments. Oh, the fresh produced some scores, right? But then there may have been a game or two where there was just a lull, and then maybe 4 or 5, boom, boom, boom again, maybe a lull, and then again. So it seemed more roller coaster-ish, but not in the sense of, we're not making 60-foot drops, from the top, so to speak. We're not going, 280, 130. Maybe you went 260, 250. Saw a lot of 190 type games in there as well. But overall,
it looked like a pretty solid scoring pace. But yeah, I was just curious of the ebb and flow, peaks and valleys.
have you seen Hustle and Flow?
Yes.
My man. I'm not sure I expected that answer. Appreciate you, man.
Nicely done.
And Sellers is going to get a victory. A chance to see if Kote can finish this thing out. Meanwhile, Stephanie Zavala. Trying to come up with 30 bonus pins and potentially make a little run.
Hayuk officially collected the win against Bond, 222 to 205. It was 237 to 225. Final score: Pluhowski versus O'Keefe. Sandra Gongora is going to get the W against Kelly Kulik. Liz Culkin, 10th frame away from securing victory against Birgit Norrex. Sellens 238 to 170 over Boomershine. DZ looking to make a big late run over on 69 and 70 against Liz Johnson. LJ in the books at 225. Diana had 55 in the fourth. After two splits, she was unable to convert and hasn't missed since. And
I told y'all last night too, or yesterday.
You did.
That was going to happen.
And fortunately caught Steph J.
It did. Caught Missy too. First shot of her match.
That one was a little less impactful, though.
Yes, but yes. Yeah, I was very specific about saying that 8 pins were going to show up in very inopportune times.
Yes.
And that certainly happened.
So I'm not going to give you the one in the first frame, though.
You are correct in that aspect. But, of course.
In the long run, though, yes, that makes that match a little more interesting if she collects that and well, there's only one extra pin. In the grand scheme of how that worked out. So 256 for Cote with the victory. DZ. Has now thrown the back 7 and just needs to keep it on the lane behind the foul line, and she is going to make a valiant run to secure those 30 bonus pins. That's impressive. That was something I talked about yesterday with Julia Bond after her victory, 234 to 225, the official tally over there. It was just, we could spend all day talking about how that match ended, and it was crazy. It was shocking. It was devastating. It was. You don't want to see a match end like that. Simple truth. But the work that Julia did in the back half of that game to make that situation possible can't be, and unfortunately that was tremendous timing for that to happen again. But the work she did in the back half of that game to keep herself in the match was just downright impressive.
Oh!
And for everybody around us. I'm glad nothing else.
No one has any idea what we're watching.
Around us. This is correct. I'm glad that wasn't.
They just see us looking at a screen, at a monitor.
This is. we weren't ready for that type of energy here. My goodness. That was crazy. For Thomas, who turned away, I did not see it. Stephanie left the pocket 7-10 on her second shot at the 10th, and actually sent the 10 pin in front of the 7, flying across the deck. So we actually thought we were going to have the 7-10 converted there. So that's what the oohs and ahs were for, as she finished with 182. So Zavala will get the win. But yes, the situation is unique for us because we're actually on a bit of a delay calling the action. So we didn't see that happen in real time. So we saw it when it came to what we're watching on. Nice cover there by Sandra. But our reaction is a little bit after it happened in real life, and therefore, for the people around us, they have no idea why we just got so incredibly excited. We got some looks. We got some looks. Folks know the energy we bring. Emil, we have, I see Daria Payuk versus Brianna Cote up on the big board right now.
Yep.
And considering that's nearly a 1-2 matchup.
Sounds like a winning combination.
I think that's what we should check out here. How do you feel about that?
Sounds great to me.
59 and 60. In addition, we'll get to see Verity Crawley and Shannon Sellens as well compete. Look up on the big board. What do we see? That's right. What a matchup. Well, we got 3 players. We're better than plus 500 on the board at the moment. Let's see who else we got. Big numbers out there. Shannon O'Keefe plus 519. Shannon Buchowski plus 509. Oh, Shan Sellers. I'm looking too fast before we get the extra 30 in there. Oh, 710. Looks like Sellon's actually at 548 now. There's Daria's going to spins. All right, so Cote might be getting her an extra 30 here in a moment. She might get to 602. There it is, 602. All right. Shout out to our main man, Rick Barbera, taking care of business, helping us with live scoring and all the scoring updates throughout the course of the week, along with our tournament team. I believe in talking to Rick, he's been with Brunswick since the 1960s, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's like
late 60s?
I want to say it's at least 40 years. So maybe maybe the 70s.
Score update. After 12, we have a little more separation in that top 5. So some big efforts have created a little more separation overall, but still an incredibly close race at the moment for the top 5, and another 4 players within 36 pins of the show, and even going all the way back up to 9th place within 120 of first. So let's run those down. Brianna Cote plus 602, leading the way so far. Diana Zavyalova plus 578. Daria Payuk plus 565. Shannon Sellens plus 548, and Shannon O'Keefe, your current top 5, plus 519. Shannon Pluhowski, 10 pins out, plus 509. Liz Johnson plus 495. Stephanie Johnson plus 488. Missy Parkin plus 483. And then 100 pins back of the show. Sandra Gongora and Birgit Norikes at plus 419. And then we have that gap again, 140 pins from that tie for 10th to 12th place. Liz Culkin at plus 279, 240 pins back of the show. Dasha Kovalova, though, she's moved up 10 spots. And the next question for Dasha is going to be, can she continue it? And this run she's been on to get up to that next section of players. But she has now delivered back-to-back wins, 237 and 222. For the block, she has shot 927 so far. So she's 127 over for 4 games so far. So averaging over 230. She's at plus 272 now, 247 pins back of the show, but has moved up 10 spots already. And when we were talking about the points, once again, we said that was 300 points at a time, but you go from 23rd, 6,400 points, to 13th, 9,400 points, an extra 3,000. Take every pin you can get there. So Dasha Kovalova bouncing back nicely. But can she make the next move up to the next tier of players here at the Tour Championship? Maria Jose Rodriguez plus 264. Valerie Bercier plus 249. Ashley Galante plus 241. Similar situation. Verity Crawley plus 237. She's trying to get back toward the top of this particular group. But can she find a stretch to catch up to those folks in 10th, 11th place? Shalyn Zukifli plus 228. Kelly Kulik plus 223. Stephanie Zavala plus 219. Saki Mukutani plus 202. Jen Higgins plus 195. Julia Bond plus 111. And then Lindsay Boomershine minus 20. Folks, let's know about 65 and 66. I just took a glance over that. Emil may have gotten that corrected already. Looks good now, so just double checking. Just double checking with y'all. Let us know in the chat. Hayuk now looking for 4 in a row after the 7-10 in the third. Safe to say she liked that one. Cote with the advantage in this matchup. Getting into the back half of the game. Do have a front 6 up on the board. Liz Culkin taking on Ashley Galante on 53 and 54. Sellens with another one, 4 in a row. Again, we're watching 3 of the top 4 in the standings right here on these pairs. Cote first, Hayuk third, Sellens fourth. And Sellens, a player taking advantage of the opportunity of the Tour Championship, really, resetting for the top 24. She was one of the last players to qualify after missing match play at both events. So if you look back at the qualifying for the Tour Championship, Cote was leading at plus 723. Sellens is at plus 320. So a 400 plus pin difference. And Shannon taking full advantage of that here on the 40-foot condition for the final event of the 2021 season. I feel I'm going to get scooch up close to Emil Williams Jr. so he can see if he knows. I feel Shannon is also another player who throws 14 pounds. Does that sound right? I feel I've had that conversation with her and she's mentioned it. We'll confirm that, but I feel I've had that conversation with her before, that she actually throws 14. So we mentioned Cote as well. Daria taking care of business in the 8th. Liz Culkin did not get the strike in the 7th. So if Daria strikes here in the 9th, this is essentially a one-pin matchup heading into the final frames. Max scores Cote 236, Hayuk 235. Oh, woo! Just mean to the pins. Sellens with another one. Cote responds. One pin matchup heading into the 10th. Emil, I know we had this conversation a day or two ago about players we could just sit back and watch most of the day compete. Just put them on repeat all day. Shan Sellens kind of falls into that category too. She is everything's just so effortless with what she does. I mean, it looks incredibly, she just makes it look so easy, but obviously she is a technician out there in her repeatability and shot making, but it's just so smooth and effortless.
I would agree. For someone who who doesn't really have a lot of time.
Oh,
To put a lot of practice in, get a lot of reps. And I actually asked her this earlier. A lot of what she continues to produce, despite not being able to compete on a regular basis, is based on her mental game and continuing the mental reps. She reads a lot of books, kind of keeps herself prepared mentally in that way. So everything is not so foreign when she returns to competition.
252 is going to be enough for the victory for her. An interesting development over on 51 and 52. Shannon Pluhowski can punch out for 258. Beer Get already in the books at 257. It's a big time matchup there. Kelly Kulik, 269 this game, in the victory over Lindsey Boomershine, who had 232. It's devastating 9-pin though for Cote. Drops her max down to 216 with the strike on the fill. And now she gets, I agree, Bree. Now it falls. Gets the hit for 216, so Daria still needs the first hit in the 10th now. Would still need the first strike. If she does not get the first one, her max is 214 with 9 spare strikes. So Payuk for the 30. Needs his first hit. Oh, from way downtown, gonna get there? Cote's gonna grab another win. She's gonna get to plus 648 now. Sellens is going to get to plus 630. And then DZ was had a chance of getting to the 230s. She's able to strike out in the 10th. That would be enough for the victory as well. So she would gain a couple of pins on Cote. So it looks like Cote is going to retain the lead here. Pluhowski did not strike out, so she ended up losing that match 257 to 247. O'Keefe is going to get a victory, but she'll be in the 2-0s, so 30 will be nice, but when looking at the scoring pace of some of the other players in the top 5, giving a couple pins back in that fashion, but the win helps. But she still won't get all the way up to where Daria Payuk's at now, after 199 in the loss at plus 564. Shannon Pluhowski is now going to be at plus 556. So Pluhowski will actually go ahead of O'Keefe here by a pin, if my math is right.
Yeah, and Liz Culkin is going to at least maybe build some momentum to make something interesting toward the end of this block. And I think right now the goal is to obviously finish as well as you can finish. Momentum really is something, I think. And then having seen the pattern twice now in competition mode, all the players understanding what they can or cannot do. And obviously, there's still going to be transition, right? The pattern still maybe is going to play a little differently, right? We know that each time it's applied. And so tomorrow's going to be another test of that. But if you can get yourself closer to the number with 8 full games and 240 bonus pins, right? Tomorrow,
Yep.
that's a lot. You can get there if the deficit is not impossible. 279 wins certainly help that. Give me plus 109 any day.
But Kulkin is, and I mentioned with Dasha Kopilova as well, kind of in a grouping that needs a stretch like that to kind of get over to that next tier of where folks are at and kind of chasing the numbers. So once again, heading into this game, there's 140 pin difference between 11th and 12th, but there are a few players right on the cusp of that who would benefit from a little stretch, a little run. Putting up a couple, couple numbers, and especially, it's always a question of, are you going to get the help along the way too from the folks in front of you?
Well, you definitely don't bet on that.
You can't. No.
Never put your money on that.
What are we feeling here, Mr. Williams? We're seeing all the names pop over. Kote Buhowski looks like a potential interesting matchup. Kulkin and DZ, since we talked about Liz.
Kulkin and DZ, you say?
That's one from up there on 55 and 56.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that sounds good.
Okay.
See if she can see how she starts this game, especially facing someone who was leading and still is near the lead. Liz, she likes the competition. She likes match play too, loves it. So, coming off 279 and then bowling someone like Diana might exactly or just be what exactly she needs to get going.
We'll also get to see Dasha and Lindsay Boomershine. Getting back to, I was out of the chat for a quick second there. So I see Sid Rowe dropping some knowledge about Shannon Sellens, and has been using 14 for some time now. Emil, as you may know, I'm a big fan of the lower weighted bowling balls.
Shoot, I might go throw a 14 pound. That's on the straight up.
I'm currently at 13, which is much different from the 15 that I used for ages and ages and ages.
Yeah, but you had to.
That's true. It was a move necessitated by an injury. But I feel it's allowed, I'm a joke compared to what's going on here. Let's get that, make that very clear here.
That's your preface.
And my ability to chuck the rock versus what these athletes are doing out here. But if you feel you're fighting the weight a little bit, which I was, and then the injury kind of pushed it toward it, but that extra pound or two is you'd be surprised how much that takes the stress off just of kind of everything. And you also see the big thing for me was being able to be in a little bit stronger position at the release, allowing my minuscule rev rate to jump up a little bit.
So you got all over.
Oh, I wheel and deal now. I'm a bad man getting into 18 now at Forum on Wednesday nights.
How's your carry percentage?
It's better than you would think, all things considered, than having seen me bowl. Better than you would think.
I like it. One day I'll see this in person. We should bowl a tournament together. Oh, Liz Colkin.
Well, see, you bring that up, and now I have to mention that one time on Bowl TV when you said you were going to bowl 4 tournaments in a year.
That was pre-pandemic.
That was pre-pandemic. We pre-Trey as well.
Yeah, I think
Trey
so.
had joined us, started doing cool things. Those were the days.
I do recall saying that.
Oh, I know you said
That was my goal.
That
was my 2019 goal.
Good question from Judy in the chat. I believe, yes, Missy, I think, might be the lone player on tour throwing 16. To Rick's question about that, I was actually very surprised about the carry percentage and kind of relative to what was previously out there for me personally. Like, you just know certain hits aren't going to strike. Like, when you get into that, hit you see a lot of the players get where, it's kind of half pocket, but still enough to get the 6 to get enough of a kick of the 10. You might not get that hit quite as often. You might need a little break there to get those to tumble, but everything else is pretty on par to what I had seen in the past. I will say, like, there's no hits ruled out from it. Like that was the biggest thing. I thought my light pocket hit percentage was just going to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
You can still get those. You can still get those hits.
This is good stuff.
Leave way more fast 8s though. That's the one thing
Really?
that I've seen pop up more. But more importantly, we've had new scores pop up after 13 games.
Let's see what's good.
Still leading Brianna Cote plus 648. Diana Zavyalova plus 633 in second. Shannon Sellens plus 630 in third. So only 18 pins separating first to third right now. Daria Payuk stays in the top 5 despite the loss, plus 564. And then Shannon Pluhowski moves into the top 5, even though she lost that match. She shot 247. Gets to 556, 1 pin ahead of Shannon O'Keefe, who's at plus 555. Missy Parkin at plus 548. Liz Johnson plus 538, 18 pins back in 8th place. Birgit plus 506, 50 out of the show. Stephanie Johnson in 10th plus 495. Sandra Gongora, 238 in a tie. Moves her within 100 of the number, plus 472. She's in 11th. And then we still have that section right there, that cutoff spot at 11th where we have the gap. But Liz Culkin with the big game last game, now 188 pins out of the cut, plus 368. Kelly Kulik after 269, plus 322. Maria Jose Rodriguez got a win with 221. She's at plus 315. Dasha Kovalova gives a couple spots back. She's at plus 313. 15th place, Verity Crawley and Ashley Galante plus 267. Valerie Bercier plus 233. Stephanie Zavala plus 231. Shalyn Zolkeefly plus 224. Misaki Mukutani plus 201. Jen Higgins plus 197. Julia Bond plus 164. And Lindsay Boomershine plus 12. There are 24 players in the field for the Tour Championship. Taking a look around the house. Shalyn Zolkeefly. We actually had the combined front 9 on 61 and 62. Zolkeefly with the front 5. Maria Jose Rodriguez started with the front 4 for a 9 count in frame 5. Nothing else too crazy out of the gates just yet. Shannon O'Keefe spare 3-bagger. She's built up a bit of an advantage over Verity Crawley. But obviously still half a game to go for a lot of these players here. So some string and strikes can. Oh, Dasha. Getting that light and mix 5. Let's see where you're going with that, Mr. Williams. Your note taking. I believe your final answer is going to be 12-1.
Oh, you knew it already. You must didn't see the chat last night.
I didn't.
Okay. Someone asked a question about what Julia Bond's match play or stepladder finals record is.
She has only had one loss in her time as a PWBA tour member between regional and national tour competition, and that was at the Louisville Open. Which in itself is a ridiculous stat on top of that.
Yeah, Kenny asked. And I told him, I said, well, I don't know it offhand, but if anyone does, it's Aaron. And I said I would get that tomorrow and talk about it in the future.
Yeah, similar to kind of Shannon O'Keefe's run in 2019 with her record in stepladder finals appearances. It is fitting, though, that her one loss is to Missy Parkin, since she's taken away. She's taken a couple W's from 7-10. It's taken away a couple victories from Missy over the years, or this year, I should say. And Julia bowled well in that matchup, too. Lost 232 to 224 in the semifinals at the Louisville Open. Dasha Kovalova ended up winning as the top seed. To successfully defend her title.
Well, this game here, so a couple of splits for Liz Colkin. It's Diana Zavgalova trying to get back to that leader form.
With it being as close as it is between the top three, this can certainly swing a few spots. Shannon Sellens is bowling another good game. She can get to 258 with the 9th and 10th left to go, in position to get the win against Jen Higgins. Brianna Cote is going to get a loss against Shannon Pluhowski. Pluhowski's, I'm just saying, be on the lookout for Shannon Pluhowski right now. She's
You can never not.
she's putting up some numbers.
You can never not forget about Shannon Pluhowski and anything. If she's in the field, she's probably the lone lefty, which is the case here.
Mm-hmm.
She knows, she's experienced, I should say, obviously, with that. And then JT mentioned something that was interesting earlier. He actually expected her to make one of the earlier two shows just because of the patterns, and they weren't, of course, extremely difficult. They produced some scores, and, Shannon certainly can strike a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He was expecting to see a few more strikes, but perhaps she just saved them for this event.
She was on the show for the the U.S. Women's Open. So she's been in those big moments here. She won her Queen's title here at the NBS. She had to beat Liz Johnson twice. That was a true double elimination format in 2006.
That's not easy.
So Puhalski 246 with the win to 234 Cote. So Cote will not get the bonus pins this matchup. DZ with the first one in the 10th. She can still get to 247. Going to get the win. So she, even if she doesn't get the second hit, she's going to go around Cote. Sellen's 9 count in the 9th. So her max is 237. In position to get the win. So DZ gets this one here. Looks like she's going to be shot back at the top of the leaderboard.
What a good shot that was. She's looked this way really all week long. Go back to that 300 game where she said she had goosebumps because of the shots she was throwing. Each one was exactly what she wanted to do to the bowling.
I think if you'd have to pick MVPs of the Fall Classic Series so far, and obviously Julia's got to win, Stephanie's got to win. So, you know,
Zavala, that is.
Zavala, yes. So, you know, that's kind of like all tournament team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got their spots locked up regardless. But if I had to go top 3 after that, just on overall performance this week, obviously Steph J making 2 shows. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, I feel it's got to be Cote and then DZ.
Yes.
For just the best overall performances so far this week.
Yep, I would be all on board with that.
Lindsay Boomershine 247. She's going to get the win against Dasha.
Come on. Man, just like that, where you think you can put a couple of games together and get to a new pair, couple splits, carries a little bad, and all of a sudden you're shooting 190, 180.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be 220 in the loss for Kovalova. Some other updates from across the house. Zavala, a 259 to 216 victory over Daria Payuk. Shannon Sellen's 213 is enough for the win against Jen Higgins. Liz Johnson in position to get the victory over Birgit Norex. Saki Mukutani 235 to 210 over Valerie Bercier. Maria Jose Rodriguez is going to capture the victory with a late 4-bagger against Shalyn Zolkiefli. 248 is going to be enough for the victory. Best Shalyn can get after missing the first shot of the 10th, 244. I mentioned Puhalski, 246 to 234 over Cote. Shannon O'Keefe finished with 211. So Verity Crawley putting together a late string of strikes. She's going to take that game from O'Keefe. Missy Parkin is going to cap off a win against Kelly Kulik. Chance for a tie on 69-70 between Ashley Galante and Sandra Gongora. only other matchup I think we didn't cover yet. Julie Bond's going to get the win, 218 over Stephanie Johnson. Best Steph can get to is 211. Game 7 coming up next. Here on Bowl TV from the PWBA Tour Championship from the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. My name is Aaron Smith alongside Emil Williams Jr., Curtis Von Kruger, and Jason Thomas, also part of the Bowl TV team this week. I've already been in Reno for 7 days.
Man, it went by kind of quick, though, honestly.
It did. It's a quick moving event for, 8, 9, 10 days out on the road. It moves quick, pretty steady. You're not bowling too crazy much each day, but you're still getting your workout in. Got Hosan back in the chat. Hosan. He didn't know what we mentioned earlier today. Things have changed a little bit, but there was a time, Hosan, entering the second round where Liz Johnson was technically leading the Player of the Year race. This has fallen back a couple spots, though. So hopefully you're going to bring some of that energy back to the 25-time title list here. She's going to be taking on Liz Culkin, so dad at joke opportunities to say Liz is going to win that matchup. All right, looks like everybody's just about ready for 7. Let's see if we got any position round type matches up on the boards here. O'Keefe Cote way down on 69 and 70. That's a test matchup for Queen's title here at the NBS. Here we get in Diana Z. Daria Hayuk and Stephanie Johnson, both north of plus 480 at the moment. Currently taking a look at Stephanie Zavala versus Julia Bond and Maria Jose Rodriguez versus Misaki Mukotani.
Saki is 0-5 today. It has games of 225, 223, 220, 192, 199.
I think she won this last round. I think she got that, but yeah, that's tough sled. And I mean, it's one of the things you can look at the averages listed as well, and that's how important those wins are. She's averaging nearly 211. Players ahead of her: 203, 208, 208, 206, 209. Dasha 210, 205, 208, 209. So when you look at average-wise, she would be in the top 14. top 13, top 14. But since she's not collecting the victories.
Really good example of how winning matches don't always determine the outcome, but when the scores are kind of close together, that is going to be ultimately the determining fact.
I do feel Masaki got on the board, though. So once we get this next update, I feel she had another nice game, 235, I think, victory. But
Game 7.
I don't know if you're feeling this as well, which is very, very random just to say. I'm getting really good big game vibes right now, just in general over the course of this game.
Well, we had a few in round 1 this morning, later in the block.
Big game vibes here, Game 7.
The question is who might produce those big game vibes.
It's going to be like 6 people. Quarter of the field will shoot more than 240 this game. There's no historical reference, no science behind it. Feels like a very Mike Flanagan-esque thing to throw out in the chat. Over, under. James at 240 here in Game 7. Setting the line at 5.5. I've taken the over. I gotta get my pen out now. Gotta keep track of this. I feel I get a few overs even if I bumped it. Feeling good about this game.
Nope.
Oh, no, get out of there.
Should be a good match here. All right, scores. What do you got for me? Oh.
Such timing.
All right.
Take it home, E.
Diana Zavjalova, 10-3-1. She's won her last 3 matches, 234, 225, 246. She's in the lead at plus 709. Ranakote moves to second at plus 682. 9-5, losing with a 234. Who did she lose to? We just watched that match, didn't we?
She lost to Pluhowski.
Thank you. Shannon Sellens is third, 5-1. plus 673. Again, 5-1 here this afternoon. Shannon Pluhowski, 4th. Where was she at before?
5th.
At plus 632, 8-6 overall. Missy Parkin is now 5th at plus 609. Liz Johnson is 6th at plus 587. Daria Payok is 7th at plus 580. Shannon O'Keefe is 8th at plus 566. Birgit Norrijks is 9th at plus 497. Stephanie Johnson right now 10th at plus 483. Sandra Gongora is 11th at plus 468. She can't really get anything going here this round. Her high game is 238, and they tied. Can't even get all 30 bonus spins there. She's got 2 ties today. Or there's just this round, excuse me. Speaking of Gongora.
It's like going 1-0 for 2 games.
Yeah, that's a herder. Maria Jose Rodriguez is 12th at plus 393. As we get into, again, that second tier based on the gap. Liz Colkin, 13th at plus 357. Verity Crawley, 14th at plus 343. Asha Kovalova, 15th at plus 333. Stephanie Zavala, 16th at plus 320. Continuing on, Kelly Kulik at 17th at plus 315. Ashley Galante, 18th at plus 304. Oh, my goodness. Rodriguez sending pins everywhere. She's old. Mukotani, 19th at plus 266. Shaolin Zulkifli, 20th at plus 256. Valerie Bercier, 21st at plus 243. Julia Bond is 22nd at plus 212. Jen Higgins is 23rd at plus 196. Lindsay Boomershine is 24th at plus 89. Kotani. Oh, high flush. Speaking of that, you're right about the that win from Mukotani, Aaron. A 235 victory.
This is it's a good old-fashioned strike fest over here on 55 and 56. Max scores available. Mukutani 279, Rodriguez 270.
Oh, what a shot. She's so clean at the bottom. A little lower ball speed, but everything very fluid to the line.
I think that's one of the reasons that I like watching her so much is just how she finds different ways to be able to kind of control the ball from overreacting with the lower ball speed and finding different ways. We've seen her use urethane before and, create a little bit more shape just because of the slower ball speed as well. She's a very fun player to watch. I'd love to see her out here for a full tour season just to kind of see what kind of overall numbers she could put up. I mean, Misaki she can make a step ladder finals appearance out here, no doubt.
100%.
In a similar fashion on 57 and 58, if you're looking at max scores through 7 frames, Valerie Bercier 279, Shalin Zulkifli 270. Another high-scoring matchup currently ongoing. Sandra Gongora has 6 in a row after an open in the first. The max scores between her and Missy Parkin, 280 to 276. So those big game vibes.
Well, you said you had a little feeling, huh?
I had a feeling. It wasn't even like indigestion or anything like that. So good vibes for strikes.
Is it like the Jackson 5? Can you feel it?
Ooh.
Or the Jacksons? They may have been at that point in time. That Victory album.
Don't stop till you get enough.
Whoa.
I'm going solo. Don't stop till you get enough strikes. And Maria, good count here. Count is important here. All right, 270. I'm going to mark it down in my book. That's 1.
What was your number? 7?
I set it at 5.5.
5.
And I took the over. 270 from MJR.
Could be a bad beat coming. Might have to call Scott Van Pelt.
Oh, SVP. Are you in Reno right now? So Masaki will need the double now on the 10. Gotta have it. Woo.
You know what I would like to do actually is go visit other countries like Japan because the bowling is so spectacular. Good Lord. All right, this 7-10 thing is really starting.
Has it replaced the 8-pin in your vibes?
At least on this pattern,
On
yes.
this pattern it has?
I'd like to see some JPBA action in person. Oh, push.
Uh-oh. Maria's going to sneak out the victory. You shouldn't have to sneak out a win with 270, but she is.
And Mukotani.
Another. Oh.
Continues to shoot some score. And she's going to lose. Although she had ball in hand. And yes, I get it.
Could have won it, but somebody help her out.
Wow.
267 and the L. My goodness. All right. Wow, that was a number right there. That's something else. What are you feeling like next here, Mr. Williams? We still got a couple frames here in this matchup. They finish rather quickly there. I guess striking that much helps.
Check the old trusty. Let's see. High-ups on something's out. Boy, Diana Z just. She just keeps putting up strings.
I have an interesting stat on her after we
Gore Parkin.
After we roll on this move.
It's a pretty close match here between 9-pin match actually between Sandra Gongora and Missy Parkin.
Where are we heading?
63 and 64.
63 and 64. Okay. Got some strikes up there. We got DZ as well, taking on Birgit. She can still shoot 279 this game. But here's my fun fact for DZ this year. And potentially for her, not as fun. And if she ends up leading, I'm going to ask her about these moments. But we've had, I want to say, 4 events now that I guess primarily are match play events or have a large portion of the event that is match play. When you obviously the Reno Classic, the Pepsi Classic, the first 2 events of the Fall Classic Series are kind of split half and half. If you make the top 12, then it's all match play the rest of the way out. But when you look at the final event of the Classic Series events, the Hall of Fame Classic in January, the Bowl TV Classic in August, and then you look at the Queens, which is head-to-head match play, and the U.S. Women's Open, which is when you get to the end of it, 24 games round robin match play. Hall of Fame Classic, she finished 6th. She missed the show by 55 pins. Made the show at the Queens, finished 5th. Lost to Verdi in the opening match. The Bowl TV Classic, unfortunately, was the most heartbreaking of them all. Missed it by 1 pin for the show for another 6th place finish. And then at the U.S. Women's Open, making the show, she lost her opening match to Stephanie Zavala. She bowled phenomenal in that match, just a situation where she just did not get any hits. So 5th place finish there. So in this type of format, if she's had the opportunity to just take on these opponents head to head, she has been just crazy good.
How about that?
There's trouble for Parkin in the 10th.
Actually, a little bit about that earlier. I knew she would say, at least I thought she would say, that she obviously loves match play and loves the head-to-head format competition. She was very specific, though, that the Queens to her still, and it is a different format, but she still loves that format overall. This is, you bowl everyone once and you get your bonus and, that's it. And you're not locking in with someone for 3 games.
Becomes more of a chess match in that scenario. Just another update here. Valerie Bercier, 244. We're up to 3. In a win over Shalyn Zulkifli, 227. Harkin now at 209, so Gongora is going to get the win. Can she get to... Oh, not again. She had 250s out there prior to that stupid 710. They're stupid now. That's what they are. There's no redeeming quality about these 710s anymore.
Well, the only thing at this point is that we know that the pins can bounce every now and then. Stephanie Johnson to prove that.
Daria Payuk, 246 in victory over Stephanie Johnson. That's 4. I think I might fall short here, though. I think I might fall short of the number.
Did you get Daria?
I got Daria. Valerie, Misaki, and Maria. But I'm looking at the scoreboard here. Jen Higgins, 223 to 214 over Lindsay Boomershine. Dasha Kovalova is going to get a win over Shannon Sellens. Her max, though, 227. Julia Bond's going to get the win over Stephanie Zavala with 184. DZ can get into the 250s. But I think we're going to fall just a little bit short. Looking at the other matchups. DZ's in the 250s now. But it's a quality line. It was close.
talk to the good folks over at the Tribe Props about that?
They call it the row now, guy. Come
You're
on.
right. The row. I said the
Row.
and I said it correctly earlier.
Somewhat. I had sort of mostly big game vibes. DZ's going to expand her lead here. Cote put up 233 in a victory, but going to add an extra 20 plus essentially for DZ to expand her lead heading into the final game here. 256.
Well, she said, hey, listen, that's what she's doing. She can see better. She's got glasses. You know what happened when Rick Vaughn got glasses?
Didn't he lose the heater then?
No.
Oh.
Not in that movie. He stopped throwing 12 consecutive balls.
Well, that's always a good thing. I'm curious about that now. Was that because I feel this is the first time I've seen her wearing the glasses while competing.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how new, but I do recall her posting about getting new glasses so she can see a little bit better.
Oh, is this what happened when Rick Vaughn got glasses? He still beat the White Sox?
Oh, good Lord.
Oh.
Well, they didn't face the White Sox in that movie.
That was the first one? I know the White Sox weren't one. Was it the first one?
That was Major League 2. It was the Yankees.
Yankees.
In Major League.
Oh, 2 was when he started naming his pitches.
Yes.
Okay. It's been a minute.
Old number 1, the Terminator. If you get a piece of it, you can rename it. Jack Parkman hit it a mile. He said, "How about the masturbate?"
Neil dropping in the wild thing in the chat.
Classic cinema.
Well, Mr. Williams, as we discussed earlier today, as we get into Game 8,
No.
I'm gonna beat him to it. I'm gonna beat the chat to it. Don't have to remind me today, folks. We're gonna get this bowling ball giveaway on Bowl TV underway here in just a moment. We're still waiting for our competitors to get here for Game 8. We're gonna wait for specifically, since Liz and Valerie are already doing their thing, we will wait for the next pair to come up. We'll see who that is. We will wait for the first strike in that match. Start the giveaway for a Rotogrip bowling ball of choice. So big thank you to Rotogrip. Gold industry partner here on the PWBA Tour. And while we're talking about Rotogrip, let me remind everybody, just in case, a little something about Rotogrip. Everything the good folks at Rotogrip do is put you in a position to dominate. They make equipment that makes you your best because it's not your name up there next to your score. It's your reputation. Be sure to visit rotogrip.com to view their complete line of high-performance bowling balls. Rotogrip.com. By the way, that's not the giveaway, folks. That is not the giveaway. That is it's a proud PWBA Gold Industry Partner. The giveaway is coming up soon, and it is Rotogrip related. Rotogrip bowling ball of choice coming up next. Once again, waiting for the first strike between Verdi Crawley and Ashley Galante. Verdi's on the approach. Oh. 10 pin. As a reminder, first things first, if you're in full screen mode, we do recommend you take it out of full screen. Make sure you can see the chat. You'll see a prompt in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen that says the giveaway will begin soon. It'll count down for 60 seconds. Another prompt will arrive in the same exact spot. It'll say the giveaway has begun, 45 seconds, and you'll see a submit entry button. All you have to do is click submit entry, and you'll have the chance to win. One winner here, a Rotogrip bowling ball of your choice, courtesy of Gold Industry Partner, Rotogrip. So let's see if Ashley can get us on the board and get this giveaway underway. Oh, let's go. Giveaway time. All right, folks. Once again, wait for that submit entry button. Tony asked, what pound bowling ball? Tony, you're choosing the bowling ball. You can choose the weight too. As much as I would recommend 13 for everybody, pick what best suits your game. Maybe 14, maybe 15, maybe 16. But yes, you can pick the ball weight as well, along with anything in their current lineup. So good luck, everybody. Thank you again for being part of the Bowl TV community. We got CJ dropping dad jokes out of left field. Let's go. Tennille on point with the answer. Emil's eating right now, so I won't bring him into it. But when he gets back on to the broadcast, I want to see how his dad joke game is coming along. So. All about the dad joke vibes from Emil Williams Jr. Earl Woods taking home the victory here. Rotogrip bowling ball of choice. Congratulations, Earl. Our marketing team will be reaching out to you in the next couple of days to redeem your prize, a Roto-Grip bowling ball of choice. So congratulations once again to Earl. Big thank you to everybody for participating and being part of the Bowl TV community. So one game left to go here, folks. We have a score update as well. Plus 795. DZ continues to lead. She is 11-3-1 on the day. 50 pins ahead of Brianna Cote, plus 745. Shannon Sellens in third, plus 659. Daria Payuk, 246 in the victory, gets her to fourth, plus 656. Shannon Puhowski hanging on to fifth, plus 643. Missy Parkin, 25 pins back, plus 618. Shannon O'Keefe, plus 584. Liz Johnson, plus 577. Sandra Gongora, plus 521, 122 back. Maria Jose Rodriguez. We talked about players kind of getting over that little gap we had there from like 11th to 12th. Maria Jose Rodriguez has done that. 248 and 270 her last two games. She's now 150 back of the show at plus 493. Birgit Norikes at plus 485. Stephanie Johnson plus 472, 171 back. Verity Crawley, 13th place, plus 404. Dasha Kovalova plus 389. Liz Culkin plus 378. Misaki Mukutani plus 333 and 16th. Kelly Kulik plus 326. Valerie Bercier plus 317. Shalyn Zilkifli plus 283. Stephanie Zavala and Ashley Galante both at plus 282. Jen Higgins plus 249. Julia Bond plus 226. And then Lindsay Boomershine plus 103. I want to get back to Misaki for just a second. She's averaging 216.2. She's 11th overall in average, but with a 3-12 record. And I mean, she's points away from being in the top 10 overall in average so far in this pattern through 15 games.
She's averaging 223 scratch today through 7 games. And has 1 win to show for it.
Losses with 225, 223, 220, and 267 are the notable ones up there for her.
Excuse me, bad luck.
Good matchups across the house here. Cote and Parkin on 65 and 66. Both off to strong starts here. Maria Jose Rodriguez and Birgit Norikes also striking a bunch. So early trouble for Diana Zagalova. A 4-count split in the 4th frame. Just 1 strike up on the board. So an opportunity for Misaki Mukutani to build a lead here and potentially grab her 2nd win of the afternoon. So for Verity Crawley, her last 3 games, she's actually only had one off game so far this squad. Started off a little, decent game to kick things off, 216. 258, 239, 185, 230. That 230 was unfortunately a loss. 246 and 231. And she has steadily been making her way up. Still trying to get over that. We talked about that little jump that Maria made. Still trying to get there. Still trying to cut it under 200. If Crawley can come out here and up 260, 270, 8 games to go. Throw it all out on the lanes. Player of the year at stake.
Well, we've used the word resilience today. And we were specific with Stephanie Zavala, but someone in our chat mentioned earlier that Verity is very good at resiliency, bouncing back when she has had struggles, generally speaking, especially if there's multiple blocks or rounds to make up ground or right the ship, if you will. She's very good at that. She doesn't stay down very long. So if you see her near the bottom of the standings, typically speaking, when the tournament is over, she will not be there. But it does take a level of patience, I think, that sometimes we overlook.
It's a good Guns N' Roses song, too.
Really?
Oh, you know. You know. If you heard it, you know.
What's the name of it?
It's literally called Patience.
No. Wait, it sounds like a scenario where I wouldn't know the name of the song.
Get a little Axl Rose
I've heard it
sway going.
100 times.
Just a little patience. Yeah. Shannon Bluchowski can still put up 278 this game over on 69 and 70. It's a player who's been in the top 5 now for the past few games. Sandra Gongora can get to 269. Get a win against Shannon O'Keefe. Good matchup brewing. Once again, Cote and Parkin on 65 and 66. Valerie Persier trying to put up some games here. She had 244 last game. Verity. Not going to get the 2 pin to roll out. Oh.
Wow.
What Creek Church? Maria Jose Rodriguez.
You don't see that made very often. You also don't see it sometimes. Well, the majority of the times that I've seen it made in that light where you're shooting at the 6'10" and trying to slide the 6, and you clip the 9 in the process, et cetera, et cetera. Seen it the other way as well, where people tend to shoot at the 4-7. That's huge, though. She started front 4, 9 spare, strike 9 spare. So now she can still get in the 240s.
Let's go.
Valerie.
Also a good song by Amy Winehouse.
Aaron Smith is a great person to attend a concert with.
You've been with me to 2 concerts.
I know, that's more than enough for me to know.
It's a big enough sample size?
Yeah.
All right. I'll take that glowing recommendation. To the bank.
Effortless for Valerie. It's going to be in the 260s. It's going to get a win. And now it's just a matter of can she get a 100 plus pins and add that to the total to end the night.
2 players who will be nearly at 100 pin bonuses on the side of plus after this last game. Shannon Pluhowski, 267. And Sandra Gongora, 269, both in victories. Missy Parkin can still get to 259 against Brianna Cote. Crawley, we're watching her right now. She can get to 269 still. Valerie is already into the 260. She was looking for 270s there. Man, I was a game short. It was game early. Maybe. It's still kind of sporadic.
It's similar to what we saw this morning when you asked about the scoring pace.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar. I think the good news for the players and us is there have been some scores put up in the later portion of the block. And obviously, every match will certainly count. And once we get to that back half, it's going to be a race. And then obviously the last 2 matches, game 7 and certainly position round. There's still going to be some score available.
DZ over on 57 and 58. He's just tossed 5 in a row. We're having 82 in the 5th. And she's one more hit away from shutting out Misaki Mukatani and finishing her block with another win and cruising into the top spot, or maintaining her spot at the top of the standings. An opportunity for her to gain as well on Brianna Cote, who is maxed out at 229, so she will not get the victory over Missy Parkin. So a chance for DZ to expand that lead over Cote by another 20 to 30 pins. She gets that second hit. Man, this is going to be fun tomorrow. Galante taking advantage of the split in the 9th from Crawley. She'd been keeping pace all match with those 3 spares in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. She's now into the 240s. I'm going to lock up a win here with good count. There it is.
We'll take it.
Ashley Galante. Good count achieved. My goodness. For a good measure. Emil, we literally have one final block of match play for the 2021 season and the 2021 season on Bowl TV. This year has been something else.
Couldn't have been better, but especially well deserved for everyone out here, considering obviously what transpired in 2020. We got action.
So Verity is actually the last player competing here. So our round is going to come to a conclusion here in just a moment. We'll have our final announcements for the day, and we'll see about chatting with someone. I don't know who you guys talked to at the end of.
We talked with Diana and Shannon Sellens today.
Okay.
Or earlier, excuse me.
All right, everyone, that concludes the second round of match play. Athletes, please turn in your recap sheets to tournament staff or directly to the tournament office. Tomorrow, our athletes will return at 10 a.m. for the final 8 games of match play. I'm ready, everyone.
All right, folks. Robin Graves with the announcement there that we are all officially wrapped up for the day. I feel, Emil, are we trying to set up an interview here?
Yes.
I feel with the strong finish, Shampluhowski would be an excellent candidate.
I would agree. I was thinking like Puhowski, Parkin, and O'Keefe.
So we're going to hang out here for a second. But while we have the opportunity, since a few folks were asking about what's going on for tomorrow, so we'll toss that up on the big board there. 1 p.m. Eastern time, so that's going to be 10 a.m. local here in Reno for the final round of match play. So everybody gets to rest up a little more after a couple extra games. 16 games in the books today, 8 left to go. So a little bit later start time. So we get to sleep in a little bit, which is always nice. So 1 p.m. Eastern time for match play round 3. 10 local. Emil is testing out the equipment to see if we're ready to go for a guest or not. Not sure how we're looking at the moment. Players are wrapping up, turning in their score sheets, taking care of everything for the day. There's a Tom Petty song. It talks about waiting being the hardest part. And that's what we're doing right now. We're seeing it for. I see Curtis with someone though. So I believe Missy Parkin might be making her way over here. Hey, there's Missy Parkin. So let's we're gonna bring it back to us here for a second, Emil. There we are. And Missy will be joining us in just a second here. All right, we are good to go. So let's welcome Missy Parkin.
Hi guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us again. We certainly appreciate it. Another solid day out here at in the Fall Classic Series. Talk a little bit about just what you saw over the course of this 40-foot condition over these 16 games to put yourself in position to make a run at another show.
So my game plan is just to kind of keep things a little more simple. I'm definitely playing the lanes straighter, and my game plan is just to kind of stick with that and play more to my strengths and my A game. And so I was able to just kind of ball down and stay pretty much in the same zone throughout both blocks and both all the 8 games each set. So that's kind of what my game plan was, and it definitely worked out.
Oh, and Emil needs.
Aaron's treating me bad here.
There we go.
I know that you don't normally see these ratios in regards to patterns on tour. So, what's been the adjustment, if any, this week in seeing some different variables, if you will, regarding the patterns?
Well, for me, I've been able to play more to my strengths and use a couple of my tricks. When the fronts start to go away, I'm actually able to kind of spin it more, which I'm doing actually on purpose. I know I tend to get on the side of it anyway, but at times I'm able to spin it a little bit more, get it through the fronts, and keep my angles shut down, which is something that a lot of the other players can't do. That's something that's unique to me. So it's one of my tricks that I've been able to do, as well as keeping my ball speed up, which we talked a little bit about last night on the show. So both of those are my strengths. So I think that it's playing right into my A game, which is nice. So that's kind of a couple of the things that I've been doing throughout all the tournaments.
Missy, talk about, you mentioned the show from last night and a great run at the Pepsi Classic on the way to a third place finish, but just talk about kind of the process to reset after after that to get ready for this. Obviously a long day of bowling yesterday to make it to the step ladder finals, and then you bowled a great match. Julia tossed a couple more strikes in the end, but just talk about kind of the mental refresh you had to take to kind of absorb that in, what you learned from that, and then brought that into today.
Yeah, so yesterday was definitely a very long day, and all week we've had very early mornings. I am not a morning person, so getting up with a number with a 5 in front is really not okay for me, and that's happened, last 5 days or something. So for me, I'm just, after last night, I processed it, I learned from it, I made a ball change in the 10th frame, even though it didn't matter, just for my benefit, and then just kind of have to learn from what just happened, and then know that, okay, I did my best, that's over. And now today we start an entire brand new tournament. I knew I was throwing the ball very well yesterday. Physically, I was extremely happy overall with my physical games. So today my game plan was just to do the exact same thing. Keep it very simple. Focus on my execution. I'm not a score watcher at all, so I don't look at anybody or anybody else or the scores. So I'm just literally just focusing on my process and my execution, and I just continue that to today.
Excellent. Briefly before we let you go, in case we don't get a chance to talk to you tomorrow, which I hope we do, early thoughts on going to Dubai and you're representing Team USA at the new IBF World Championships.
I am super excited to go to Dubai and bowl the World Championships and represent Team USA. So all these events were definitely great practice going into that event, since that event is, our main event that we have for Team USA. And I'm just honored to be able to wear the red, white, and blue. There's nothing better than that feeling. So I'm very excited to head out there with my teammates and hopefully bring back some gold medals.
Well, we're digging the California and pink vibes for today, though. But I know how much the red, white, and blue means to you as well. So, of course, best of luck in that event coming up. But some more work here to do in Reno before it's all said and done. So, Missy, thank you again for joining us, and best of luck the rest of the way out here at the Tour Championship.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, Missy.
All right. Missy Parkin, everybody.
Always a pleasure to talk to.
100%, yes.
She's always her voice is always so positive. Even if she's discussing something that is negative or troubling or whatever, her voice makes it sound like everything's still going to be okay.
It's going to be all right. All right. I am not sure if we got...
Yeah, I don't know. I think that might be it.
We might have to call this one.
We tried.
Might have to call this one.
We tried. Executive decision.
Executive decision. Is it happening?
Yeah, I think I don't think Curtis could round up anyone else.
All right, Eve.
At the moment. So
then, how about some final thoughts before we sign off here?
Well, man, it's kind of sad in a small way. You alluded to it a little bit, but tomorrow everything's on the line. Right, it's the final block really of the season. Obviously, the show is on Sunday, and we've got so much to determine. So in a way, it's sad that it's going to end, but it's also uberly exciting because really nothing is decided at all, and that's the best thing about it. So we still got the Player of the Year situation. It's still unraveling and figuring itself out, and who's going to make the show. There's still plenty of players who can get there.
Mm-hmm.
They've got plenty of bonus pins to work with to help them do it. And can Diana Zavjalova just continue this consistent path that she has been on, not only this week, certainly, but today as a whole? She's looked great, flat out. She's looked great. Can she continue that and make this show her third major show of the year? Come on back tomorrow morning and find out.
That's right, folks. 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. local time here in Reno for the final round, match play round 3 of the PWBA Tour Championship. We'd like to give a big thank you to the USBC and BPAA and their board of directors for their continued support of the PWBA Tour. Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider. Of course, our PWBA Tour athletes for their continued dedication to their sport and craft, and just putting on a show for us each and every event out here on this phenomenal 2021 season. And of course, all you good folks watching on BowlTV.com, what a ride it's been. Can you believe it? Can you believe we're at the final event, the final couple days, final hours of the 2021 season? Wow, it's been fun, and we want to thank you, all you watching at home, for keeping us busy and enjoying the moments with us, the ups, the downs, the peaks and the valleys, all of it. Big thank you to all of you watching Bowl TV, and we look forward to one more time on the airwaves with you here in 2021 for the PWBA Tour. So finally, for Jason Thomas, Curtis Von Kruger, Emil Williams Jr., what's the sign say today? For life. Oh, is life. Okay. No NWO vibes. All right. Bowling is life indeed. For Emil Williams Jr., I'm Aaron Smith. Have a great night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We hope to see you tomorrow. And remember, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here. We'll see you soon.